Limmy's World of Glasgow. Benjamin.
Got a fantastic, really exciting job in last week for a new club opened up in Glasgow called Racket. The guys have refurbished the old Glasgow Tower Records store. You know how that's been, it's been closed down for years now. No one's taken it on. And they're trying to compete with the Archie's right next door and, the sub club right round the corner. They gave us a call, said, obviously Benjamin with us being next to the Archie's and sub club round the corner, Glasgow's two most popular nightclubs for serious clubbers, we're going to have to make an impact. Now, what makes us different from the sub club and the Archie's is our sound system is it's actually illegal. The loudness of it really got a fantastic sound system, and it's about 3 to 4 times the volume of sub club and Archie's. The sound system, the speakers, it's about 3.5 mega decibel, blah blah blah. It's the equivalent of standing next to a jumbo jet taking off, blah blah blah. A lot of techno babble, really couldn't actually make out what the guy was saying. I said, look, brief as I take it, very loud club, I need this promoted. When do you guys open up? The chap from Racket said, well, we'll open up on a week on Saturday, so ideally we'd like to get started on the campaign this Sunday, as the clubbers have just finished a Saturday, and they're already planning for next weekend. I said, okay, gotta go, better get to it. Hung up the phone and got to work right away. Didn't need the brainstorming session at all. Complete piece of piss. Absolute child's play to come up with an idea for this one, because the guy wanted the campaign launched on Remembrance Day. Oh, how very difficult to come up with this one. The guy wants his club called Racket, a club with a barely legal, if not illegal, sound system, extremely loud, and he wants it promoted on the day everyone has a 2-minute silence. Oh, I wonder what I'm going to do for that one. I got onto my guerrilla marketing wing, said I'm going to need 7 of your guys in 7 smart cars, the souped-up ones with the huge speakers in the back. I'm going to need you guys taking a bit of a spin around Glasgow city centre around 11 a.m. on Sunday, blowing out some music. You up for that, yeah? The guy said, 11 a.m. on Sunday, Benjamin, I can't play music that loud. This is going to come as a bit of a shock to you, Benjamin, but Sunday's actually, I said, yeah, Remembrance Day. Yeah, and 11 a.m. is when you have the 2-minute silence. Yeah, perfect time to blare out some music and attract some attention, no? They said, but it's, a bit disrespectful. I said, okay, if you find my money and my business a bit disrespectful, then, I think we can sever ties with you guys. They said, okay, Benjamin, well, we'll do it. Fucking money talks to these cocksuckers. And I said, I'm going to have my audio team send you over the CD of what I want you guys to play. That'll be over to you by close of play today. I want 7 copies of that CD I sent over burnt, and send back the original. And those CDs, I want you guys driving around George Square at 11 a.m. And the second it goes, turns 11 a.m. 2-minute silence. I want that fucker blared out as loud as you possibly can. Hung up the phone on these absolute fucking cowards. Don't know the first thing about marketing, don't know any of the rules. Headed over to our sound guys and got the audio branding knocked up, and sent that over to the guerrilla marketing wing and waited till Sunday arrived. Sunday came, headed down to George Square around 11:15. All these old soldiers, I think only just a few of them served in World War II, but many of them served in all kinds of wars and conflicts. There to remember the fallen heroes, people who died for liberty, died so I was free to do this kind of campaign, not get strung up for it. I'm looking around, couldn't see any of our smart cars. Give the guy a call. I say, where the fuck are you guys? He said, we're heading there now, Benjamin. Don't have to be there for a living. I said, get here fucking now. I told you, I want you guys circling George Square. Just go around and around and around. I want you guys doing that now. I want you guys in position. They said, okay, we'll head round now. We're just round the corner. Hung up, waited a couple of minutes, and, they appeared. At first, it was an amazing sight. These 7 little smart cars with these huge speakers in the back, and all starting to go round and round George Square. Some are over to the north and south, east and west of George Square. I thought, this is going to be great. The sound's just going to come from all directions here. Oh my god, I looked at my watch. 1 minute to go. All these soldiers, all these other people, just normal civvies as they're called, all standing around on these fields in George Square next to these little white wooden crosses and poppies and so on. All getting ready to remember our fallen with a 2-minute silence. Or so they thought. It turns 11 a.m. Over the loudspeakers in George Square, the veterans' loudspeakers, you hear Big Ben begin its chime to tell everyone in the UK, begin your silence now. But for my guerrilla marketing wing, that was a signal to get that fucking Racket audio branding playing full blast. It began with just one of the cars down the south side of George Square. The second that noise started, heads turned. Almost every head in George Square turned towards this car, because it wasn't just people in George Square. It was the people on the pavements and just coming out of shops were standing still, being absolutely silent. And there's this car blaring absolute disrespect in music form. Seconds after that, all the other guys, almost in unison, just switch on or turn up the volume in their stereos, and it was just it was an unbelievable sound. It was a racket. In fact, hold on, I'll let you hear it. Okay, here it is. Oh my god, listen to that. During the 2-minute silence, that was blaring from 7 cars dotted around George Square, and no one had a fucking clue what was going on. Until this bit. Hold on, listen to this. This is me. This is me.
Racket. It's a fantastic new Glasgow nightclub.
Starting this Saturday
In the former Scott Records building.
is going to be a fucking racket.
And remember,
Don't drop bombs.
from ecstasy.
Absolutely love that bit. Fantastic. Anyway, as I said, no one had a fucking clue what was going on. An absolute racket. People were turning heads everywhere. The music wasn't coming from any one particular direction, so no one could just head towards any, one particular car here. People were just running around, trying to find where the noise is coming from, and they pinpoint it. They start heading towards that car, and they hear from behind them the music coming from somewhere else, and they double back. The place really did, descend into blind panic. But after the 2 minutes, I had, instructed the guys to fuck off. After the 2 minutes, get out of there. You've made your point. Let's not push it. After the 2 minutes, they left. But still, everyone is in a complete state. But perhaps a lot of people upset. Complete lack of disrespect. Walk to Treat got everyone's attention. Hearing Racket, new club opening up in the former Tower Records building, definitely got the message across there. But the funniest thing of all was, because some of these old vets, had experienced war and maybe had shell shock or whatever you call it. Some of them were deaf. Couldn't hear a thing. Forget about a hearing aid. Absolutely deaf. And you could tell, because there was a few guys I noticed who were just looking around at everyone. They weren't looking around at the music because he couldn't fucking hear it. they just saw all these old friends of theirs, old soldiers, running around crazy. I mean, if you imagine it yourself, just if everyone for no reason just started running around daft, sprinting left and right, and you'd been in a war, bring back all the bad memories. And for some of these guys, it was absolutely hilarious. They were actually looking towards the sky. Because no one was telling them what was going on, because everyone was running around. They had lost their friends, and they started looking up towards the sky, thinking they were going to be bombed again by the Germans. And they started running for cover, running over to city chambers with their hands over their heads, as if that's going to stop a fucking a blitzkrieg. And inevitably there were the tears. Some of these old chaps thought it was happening all over again. They lost some really good friends, and they didn't put it past the Germans to have another go on a day like Remembrance Day, and it was truly hilarious. Some of these guys are just absolute fucking embarrassments to themselves.